welcome. It's time for Friday Night Marketing. We're gonna rock. We're gonna roll. Rock and roll. Get real and bold. Come on, join the show now. It's about to unfold. Get raw, get real, get results now. We're the latest feel, making waves loud. On this stage, we ignite. Every Friday night, brand new fight. Get real, get results now. We're the latest deal, making waves loud. On this stage, we ignite. Every Friday night, brand new fight. In the spotlight, feel the fever. Every pitch and quest. Dreams are big, get bigger tonight. Push the limits, reach new heights. So grab your seat, don't blink an eye. 'Cause Friday night we'll touch the sky. And now, welcome. It's time for Friday Night Marketing Raw.
Hello! Welcome to Friday Night Marketing Raw. Hello, I'm Andy. This is Mike H. And I'm sure Kurt will be along soon. Always late, isn't he? Don't know where he's got to. Anyway, hope you've had a good week. This is the Friday Night Marketing Raw. This isn't any particular show. You can come on. You can join us. The link's scrolling down below. Do come on. Follow that link if you can join on camera and mic. If you can't join on both of those things, or at least on mic, we need better hear you. Then talk to us in the chat, because we're watching the chat too, and we'll answer that. Anyway, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you.
Excellent. Great to be here. Have so many great questions, and I'm hoping that maybe from a marketing point of view, you can tell me the easiest way to get it going.
Yeah, well, sure. I know we were having a little chat just before we came on, weren't we, about systemizing stuff and the things that you're working on at the moment.
So taking Snapify I'm making lots of notes. Ellie, good to see you, you quiet
Hello,
person, you.
hello.
Hi,
He
Eddie.
speaks. He speaks.
Yes, tonight I can. My wife is not home at the moment, so
Ooh, you're a bachelor, are you?
yes.
We're dangerous, isn't it? But oh, I can hear you.
Oh my goodness. What I wanted to know is, for example, looking at Snapifier, the project that I told you about earlier, Andy, would it be smart to either make a download page where someone would get access to that as a paid product, or go through Snapifier and have that, and in turn they get a passcode and go through it? Which would be the easiest, fastest, and smartest way?
So you've got, I mean, I know that you're doing what you're doing so far. I don't want to.
I don't know how much I should open up to the public with
We're
what
on a
I'm
live
doing.
stream, so I don't want to talk about all of what you're doing, because so let's say the first thing that you told me about, we'll just refer to that as a traffic source for now.
Okay.
And then you did mention having the cheat sheet part of this on Gumroad.
Correct.
So that's one good way to go. It depends. You've always got to look at what platforms you're going to put this on and who you're packaging it up for. You would probably sell more with what you're doing. If you packaged it right, I think you could actually sell this better on Warrior Plus.
Ooh.
Actually package that end of it, because it would be like, you know, here's everything you need to do this, would be the approach there. As for download pages or whatever, I mean, I think we often get too wound up in all of this now. I was showing Mike before we came on just some stuff I've been working on. And so basically on the stuff I do on Warrior Plus now, when I do a launch on there, I don't protect the download page. I've stopped. It's just a URL you're not likely to guess. If people share it around and a few people get it for free, so what? The page is monetized anyway. But you know what? I realized that 90% of my, because I've been working hard to work out how to reduce support down and reduce any unnecessary interaction, because support takes up time, whether you like it or not. And I went, well, look, I went back for all these tickets and went, how many times have I got a ticket for I can't find my login, or I haven't had my login information? So on the front end product on Warrior Plus, you buy it. When you click the access button, it's just taking you to an unprotected URL. There's the product. And you know, it's worth the offset of the few people that might nick it. It's worth that to get rid of all the support and all the issues and take out a hurdle that was getting in customers' ways. Because there's nothing worse if you're a customer, we've all been there, you go through a checkout process and something goes wrong. Now, most of us are adult enough to go, that's annoying. I'll message the vendor and I'll put up with the fact it might be a few. But, you know, when you're really keen to crack on, it's still annoying. And I know that. And I don't want people to get frustrated when they buy, because if you get them frustrated then, if you lose them then and get them on the wrong foot, you know, you're almost on the back foot before you start trying to defend yourself. And it shouldn't ever get like that. So I've gone for taking out as much as I can that gets in the way. So now my upsells and things of higher value, yeah, I've got delivery things in place for them, but that's a little bit different. No matter what happens on a Warrior funnel of mine now, the last couple I've done and the next one coming up, if someone goes through and buys everything in the funnel and there's a problem with the delivery of any of it, they're still going to get the front end immediately. So they've got something to look at, something to get into while they wait for the support thing to come back if there was a problem. So it kind of, by doing that, I've relieved all the initial front end support, got rid of a lot of hassle from people that are likely to feel bad, and those that buy everything or buy the bits and things go wrong, they're nice as pie to me. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I got the upset. I got the front end all right, but this isn't working. And I'm like, no problem, I'm on it. But they've had something to spend their time on. So, you had somewhere in all of what you said, Mike, there was something to do with Snapify and Courtesy now.
Oh, yeah. But, okay, so then for my upsell, I thought I could hook that up with Snapify because it's Sasset base.
Okay.
And I was just wondering what the best way would be to do that, or I was just going to have a simple download page, access page to go to.
Do that.
Just go.
Simple. Honestly, keep it as simple as you can.
That's all I wanted to know.
I think we
because
massively overthink this on launches. I know people will want to protect their staff and this, but I've had this discussion. Right, I'll give you a real life example. I can't name the client, but I can tell you the story without mentioning anything, and I won't be able to tell you what niche or anything. But they had a plugin for WordPress,
okay.
and this particular plugin, I can't remember what it sold for. It wasn't a great deal of money. It was, but they were like, got to license it. So they went to a developer and they paid to have a brilliant flipping phenomenal, integrated with everything. A couple of things happened. Number one, it probably protected them on the 2 or 3 people that bothered to refund. They could turn them off if they wanted to. Great. The vast majority of the time, the license system got in the way. It just caused them support tickets all the time.
Right.
And not only that, it got in the way of the customer. And this is something I learned. It's a book I've mentioned before. Still highly recommend it. There's a book called Information Doesn't Want to Be Free by Cory Doctorow. That book totally changed my thinking on licensing, protection systems, and other stuff. But it changed to a certain degree, and then I've just taken it to extremes now. I completely agree with it. I don't think you lose anything. So, long story short, this person had this thing. I said, look, if you really want to have something, why don't you just have a faux license system built in? If everyone has the same license key, who cares? I said, seriously, for what you're selling it for, is it worth doing all this stuff with a server? And every time it updates, you've got to pay the developer another $300 to fix it and update it. And I said, and how many sales? It's just eating money. You're throwing money away.
And time.
You're almost better off not putting a protection system in it and just going, well, there it is, and not worrying about it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Unless you're in the field where you're selling thousands of units. I don't think.
I don't think that's going to happen. But
first time out the gate, none of us do. First time out the gate with a launch.
Very, very first thing. Here's your thing, James Renouf. You know how he delivers stuff?
Doesn't he just do a PDF or a Google Sheet?
Yep.
Yeah. Just link straight from Warrior Plus.
Absolutely. Do you think he's afraid of people sharing his stuff?
No.
If somebody wants something and they want to cheat you out of $3, $7, $10 bad enough, they'll find a way of getting it.
That's right.
It's just really not worth worrying about. And that was the other thing. I've had people that are doing their first ever launch, and I'm going, look, I don't want to shoot down your expectations. I want this to do well. You've put in the work. But I'm going to be real with you. Your first launch, if you break 25 plus sales in the first week, you're doing well.
Yep.
If you're unheard of, out the gate, no one's ever heard of you, and you're coming into this market, and the proof of that is you can look at people that have had success, and you can look back at what their launches did. And the one I always mention, and only because he publicly published his figures in one of his reports that I purchased PLR to, I don't know where it is now, but Sean Mize in one of his reports had screenshots of his actual Inside Warrior Plus thing, and on a video he did, he pointed out, here's launch number 1. I did 10 sales. Launch number 2, 10 plus. Okay, which means less than 25, but more than 10. You're somewhere in that. So the first 2 launches are about the same. Most people, after 2 launches back to back with 10 units, would have gone, well, this isn't working. Not sure. And he puts out a third one. What happens? It does 25 units because now he's got a customer base and people are getting to know his name. And some of those people come back and start picking up the other one, or he bundles the old 2 products and makes that the upsell on the new one. And then he does all the licensing thing he did. And if you look at his actual history, it goes 10 plus, 10 plus, 25 plus, 50 plus, 100 plus, 250 plus. There's a few at 250, and then he finally breaks 500. And the gap between the 500 and 1,000 was nothing. It was 2 launches, I think. It was exponential growth because he absolutely just kept going for it, and he had content to put out. And that's, if you're going to start from scratch, I think a big part of it is that really commit to doing something a few times. I hear a lot of people around IM, they say things like, well, I've put this together and I'm going to just see how it goes. What they really mean is, I'm going to throw this out there, it's going to do shit, and I'm going to say that didn't work and fuck off. That's what they mean. The truth is, if they really committed and they did that first launch, and then they did the second one, and then they did the third and the fourth and the fifth, and look at anyone historically that's done that, and look at that sales history, and it all pans out the same. You can go and look at people like Dr. Loy and his PLR launches. You look at my early launches that did F-all sales. I didn't come out the gate with a big swinging success. I got lucky on about my 3rd launch, admittedly. I really captured the imagination with the hook, but I already got a little base of my own to kickstart sales with. And with all of these platforms, Gumroad, Warrior Plus, I think people fall into the trap of thinking, if I put it there, there's natural organic traffic, there's affiliates, there's bollocks, absolute bollocks. No one's heard of it. So on you go on Warrior Plus, you go, hello. No one knows who you are. You haven't got any track record. So you're going, hello. You've got to be able to build a little bit yourself initially, but that isn't difficult to do. Like with Gumroad, the way I do it traditionally has been, I get some products up there that are pay what you want, even free. I position some other products on there that are pay what you want, $1 or more. So you have to pay something. And then I have some other upsell products and whatever else. And I run around giving away the free stuff. I also put some paid products up that you put at nominal prices like $4.99, $9.99. Doesn't matter if you ever sell a copy, 100% coupon, run around and give that out. People will put more value in you giving them 100% off coupon at checkout that takes the price to $0 than they would if they get the page that says this is free. So do that, build your follower base on Gumroad, and then now you market to them every time, and that list starts to build gradually. And you encourage them as well. If you've got friends that want this, you could become an affiliate. Now, you're not going to get any big hitters, but if one person tells 3 people and 2 of them buy, or 1 of them buys, or 2 people tell 20 people and a couple of them buy, and then 1 of them becomes an affiliate, and somewhere down the road, you will hit someone that will love it, go mental, and they'll sell 20 copies for you. And you can build it up, but you ain't going to do that by sticking a product on Gumroad and seeing how it goes. You've got to really commit and go, I'm going to put an action plan together and go, right, this week it's this, and this, then this, I'm going to launch this, and I'm going to launch it, and just have your action plan and hit it and really stick to it. See, Stephen Miller is coming in, but I don't see his video. There he is.
Hello there.
Hello, good to see you.
It's good to be here, actually. After probably the week I've worked the most in the last 5 or 6 years.
You produce nice looking stuff, though.
I'm very pleased with it. Yeah.
When we looked at your thing the other day, I went in, played that video. I said to Kurt, I'm sharing my screen. I want to show you this because I logged in. Kurt hadn't seen it yet. Because I think you did it just a bit before the live. So we went off the live.
Oh, yeah. I just finished the videos, I think about 12, 1 o'clock that day.
So I hadn't had a lot of time to look on it. And I said to Kurt, I'm just going to share my screen and show you this. And I went and I played that video and I said, look how long that video is. That is the perfect length for that. And
Yeah, I think the one for
Kurt made some
bookmark
comment
is
like, yeah,
it's like 5 minutes or something like that. It's,
Yeah.
Right.
but it's absolutely perfect. for
I'm,
that sort of
yeah,
thing.
I'm genuinely pleased with that product. It does. I'm just some amazing thing. I've found that one AI platform, and it's just an absolute workhorse, and I'm just stunned with it. You know,
I know it's amazing.
I've actually subscribed to it for a month because it was £7 for a month. Oh no, it's $7 for a month. It wasn't even.
So it's even
So
less than
bad.
a lot of the other platforms.
It's
right?
less than a lot of them, and it will generate stuff that is better than Midjourney. I mean,
Impressive.
I can't. Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing more when it comes out.
Well, I think it'll be on the 26th. I'm trying to connect it with Mark Hess's list as well, so I need it to go out at a time when he's got time to be able to promote it as well. So that's why. Otherwise, actually, it could probably go out on Monday. So it's that ready. It's all, you know.
I've been doing some graphic. I picked up that AppSumo deal on Super Machine, which is an AI graphics thing, because I wasn't subscribed to Midjourney anymore, and I was using ChatGPT for some images, but it wasn't doing everything I wanted. And then I played around with this, fell in love with it. So I'm just trying to work out how I get in my library. They've just changed it all. Log out. Go back here.
Super Machine will do anything, though, won't it? It's not limited by.
They got so many different engines in it. So, you know, and so I was like, right, I need some more tarot type, horoscopy tarot type oracle card design things doing, and to go in there and just like look for and go, that engine with that filter on it, try, and just astonishing results straight out the gate. And could also, you can give it reference images, so you can give it existing tarot cards and say, I want it to be based on this, but I want it to look totally different and be this style and be this, and it just nails it. And sometimes it does go a bit bonkers, and it like AI can, but you just have to play around with the settings in it a little bit.
Yeah.
But the one you found, which I'm not going to mention, obviously, it looks really good.
The thing that's interesting me at the moment is LoRa training. So I've been talking about. Well, I mentioned kids' books on one of the posts this week. About 10 years ago, I wrote a kids' book, and I had it illustrated actually, and subsequently lost all of the files for it. And the artist wasn't particularly happy with the final results and stuff because she wasn't really a children's book illustrator. She was a friend of mine who does some incredible werewolf art and is currently working for Metallica. But I thought, well, I could probably do something with that with AI art when Midjourney came along. I just never got round to it. But this, when you end up doing the LoRa stuff, it means that what I'm trying to find now is a workflow that will let me generate a character sheet, so I can create any character. That character sheet needs to have different expressions on it, different images that you can put into LoRa. LoRa will train the AI image up, and then you can use that with this platform that I found to generate that same image again and again and again and again in whatever situation you want to put them in.
That's really powerful.
And this one, when you pay for it, will do up to 5 LoRa models in any one prompt. So that's, again, pretty damn powerful.
Yeah.
It's so
and
much
consistent characters.
Oh yeah.
And consistent characters.
Consistent characters. That's the point of the training. Yeah.
Wow.
And realistic
ones. Time to open up an Instagram account, boys.
Well, this is one of the platforms people are using to do the training of AI influencers. So you can do it, and people are making a lot of money doing it. You can also do these little animations, which I know there are a couple of other platforms that do it. I think it costs about 50 credits to do an animation But I've seen somebody do that on an Instagram account and on a TikTok account, and then add a trending sound over the top of it. And because it's quite a nice little animation that you get at the end of it, people are following, getting lots and lots of views from it. And it just needs a sort of shove to, hey, look, I've got a link in the bio, and let me show you how to do this. I'm going to, pay for my course on how to make these little animations, and then suddenly you've got yourself a business.
Smart.
Exactly.
Now, quick question. Andy, does Super Machine does consistent characters?
Yes. Why?
Oh, just I was thinking, has anyone seen the second Blade Runner?
Yes, long time ago. I bought it recently and haven't watched it again.
With Ryan Gosling?
I know someone that went to see it and they said it was abysmal, so I never bothered.
I saw it when it came out. That
Well-
was, I can't remember past breakfast this morning, so
Ryan Gosling, well, his character, his girlfriend is basically a hologram.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Best kind, you can turn them off.
I'm telling you, anyone seen the movie Her?
Mm-hmm.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Once again, men don't like resistance. They would rather have.
I mean, that's where we're ending up with some of the large language models, the open source ones. People are starting to do
Yeah.
chatbots and things like that, and you just tie all these things together, and you've got,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Tell me what to do.
Well, you guys know, and I don't care who knows in internet land anyway. I'm not ashamed of it or anything. But you guys, I used to have two. I've got one now, client that is that is effectively an online sex worker. They just do stuff on camera. They don't sleep with people, whatever. One of the things that they've been looking into is a chatbot, because a lot of these girls also offer this sort of text chat service where people are paying so much for every message or so much for a few minutes of messaging. They can now just program these fucking bots to send back the same sort of stuff and answer in the right ways, and they're so good that you really can't tell you're talking to a bot because it's trained to act just like the girl. In fact, very clever. I'm thinking that's smart girls. That is. They got the you can chat to me anytime, baby. You just send me a message on there. And I can talk to a bot. Thank you very much.
And that is passive income at that point, isn't it? So,
Yep. And they got a little AI. They can get an AI summary so that if they need to, message the punter or whatever to spend more money or whatever they do. Yeah, love chatting to you the other night. Would you like this picture of me for $10? What they do?
yeah.
I got another question for you, Andy. You're using Zago Mail. How are you finding it?
I'm liking it.
Because
It had issues at first, mainly because, like anything, when you move a domain over to another mail provider, immediately on nearly everything, they see the change and they go, your score is now low again. It doesn't drop you into your shit spammer. It just puts you back at like nothing.
Yeah.
And so you have to get a few mailings out and warm people up again a little bit, and by pacing them. And I did have a couple of things where there were delays momentarily with some of the mails going out because of all of that while they were getting the balancing done. That was about the first 2 to 3 weeks. Then it started to really pick up. And now they emailed me the other day and they said, congratulations, your something rate is really high. Not my bounce rate and not my, your spam complaint rate is really high. Well done. No, it was, it was my opens and my retention and my everything else is now quite a high rating. So
That's
you
good.
will, if you move from something else to that, you're going to have that to contend with. It's not too much of a problem if you already got a following because people are looking out for your emails. And I kind of primed a bunch of people. I said things like, I'm swapping provider, I'm thinking about it. You might, some of my emails, if they go to your spam, please drag them out, mark them not spam. That really helped me, which it does. That helps get your score up.
Okay.
And as with any mail service, you'll notice that a lot of the earlier mails I sent out, and even now I do it occasionally, there was a lot of things like, if you've got questions, please hit reply and ask me. I wanted to get that thing going. When mail servers see this back and forth thing, something to do with scores goes up.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, a little bit of that. But now I've got it settled. My delivery rate is really good. My open rate's really good. It's back up to what I was getting, probably the same as I was getting on MailerLite. But now I'm not going to be forced to use MailerLite's crappy new app system, which I hate. So yeah, I like it.
Your last email it just had a little bit of text. I think it was pre-sent.
Right.
I just wondered if it was an accident that happened or.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just trying to find it here. Where was it? Andy. There it is. The Mousetrap, that is also a toaster oven and a ... Also,
That should open up into a full email.
no, all it showed was heading. This is a new text block. Change the text.
Oh, you shouldn't have sent that out. Kurt got the right email because he got it. Oh, I got it. How bizarre.
I'll take a snap of it and send it to you there. If
Yeah.
you like. More than happy to.
No, I mean, I'll.
I have no idea why. That was last Tuesday.
Yeah. Came through for me, okay. Came through Kurt. Oh,
I
guessing
didn't
no
notice it.
Trojan-
I'd have seen it at the time, but I didn't notice anything wrong with it.
Yeah. How weird.
Anyways, I just was curious if there was something came up.
Yeah, your computer obviously just went, oh, you don't want to read this long ramble. Let's make it easy for you. It's,
No.
What bizarre crap is she raving on about now? Toaster ovens and what? Fucking mental.
But otherwise, it's been working pretty good for you because I was going to start using that
Yeah.
full swing on everything that I'm
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, and especially if you use it right, the only thing I'll say that I think is rubbish, they have forms and they have landing pages. Their forms are great. You can do double opt-in if you want. You can do single opt-in if you want.
Okay.
If you use their landing pages, now bear in mind it's in their interest that we do double opt-in on cold emails. You can't do double opt-in. There's no way of setting up the confirmation email. So
Wow.
you can sort of, but you can't change the confirmation email. So the only real sensible way is to make it single opt-in.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, okay, fine if that's how they want to do it, but it just seems a bit iffy to me. I got round it because I don't rely on any of that stuff. I either use their form in 1 or 2 cases, or I make my own form in Form NX and then link it with Pabbly and do the API in the background. And with the API, I can make it do double opt-in because you link the API is linked via a form, which has the opt-in email in it. So, yeah, there's a couple of oddities in the way it works that I find frustrating because I'd like to use the landing pages, but I'm like, I can sometimes, but if I want it double opt-in, and there are cases where I legitimately want it to be with some of the other marketplaces I'm playing in, and I'm like, oh, we have to make a form and put it on a page because it's the only way I can do double opt-in properly. So there's a couple of odd things that are slightly irritating with it, but isn't there with everything? No matter which service you use, there's going to be features about it you like and dislike. And on the whole, yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple of oddball things, but yeah, I mean, what will throw you if you used other autoresponders is that their terminology is all arse backwards. They don't use the terminology in the same way other people do. So you get and you go, okay, so a campaign is actually a broadcast message, not a campaign. There's no, it isn't a cat, it's one email. And then you have auto response. What are they called? Follow-up automations. And then you have subscribers, you have groups still and tags.
Okay.
And you have subscribe, but the way that they separate it into lists and something else. It's just terminology that you're used to on other autoresponders. They use a bit different. But if when you first log in, you watch that introductory video, you won't have any problem. In the end, I went, this doesn't make sense. I just watched their video, listened to the lovely Indian chap on there, explaining that, it was like watching an Arun video, you know. But hi, Arun. He's watching. So
highly entertaining.
Yeah. But yeah, they're and the guy Michael is the guy I normally talk to if I've had any issues. He's actually really good. So
Okay. Thanks. Hopefully by
I
Wednesday.
stuck with them if they weren't any good. So, you know, yes. And I nearly did go back to MailerLite 3 weeks in when I was having those initial things. I spoke to them. They went, oh, it's because of this. And they went, it is settling. And it has. And it's just got better and better and better. So, yeah, if you can see past the fact they call things by city names, you're fine. Anyway, what we do need to find out is
Has George Wigan given David Kirby his money back yet?
No.
Of course he hasn't.
No.
And that was another edition of
Has George Wigan given David Kirby his money back yet?
We'll check in again next week.
I wonder how many people will notice that there's a subtle change going on. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah. Well, I notice. I might join in next time.
I do it every time.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. Right, that's that. What we're going to talk about next? Because if we don't come up with something, we're going to have to play the potato game, and I really don't want to go there.
I'm not a potato. I don't feel like a potato today. Or a potato.
Don't give
Potato
away
or
your answer
potato.
in case we do play.
I don't feel like a potato. Potato.
So, Kurt, Snapify's got personalization in it.
Yes.
It does.
I saw that post. That yes, the thing that you sent out earlier. That
Is you my silly happy
looks
birthday?
very interesting.
one.
Yeah, the happy birthday one. Yeah.
I just did. The minute Kurt announced, he was sat there and he said, I can't remember where it was. We were on a call, we were live, and Kurt said, oh, and we got personalization coming. And I just went, happy birthday, .snapify, register that. Birthday, register that. And I said to Kurt, I've just registered 2 more snaps.
Yep.
And I
Yeah,
promised him that I would set them up, and I didn't get to do it until today.
And we made the personalization as easy to use as possible. So it uses, I'm going to go technical here for a minute, just bear with me just for a moment. We're using GET, which means in the URL, you can do $name equals, let's say, Kurt or Andy. And then you use curly bracket, name, close the curly brackets. And wherever you have that in your text, in the body of a text or in the HTML, we'll replace that with whatever the name equals in the URL. So the reason why I did this is very simply personalization in emails. I can send them to a landing page with their name on it. I speak directly to them. And you can have as many of those as you want. In other words, if you say, if you know what product they purchased from you the last time, and you have that in your email, you can have product equals,
location, their
right?
age. You could play with all sorts of things with that.
Basically, anything you've stored inside your autoresponder.
Right, or CRM.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even, you don't have to send their name along. You could send their autoresponder ID along with it, and then Snapify could pull that out that way. Well, you could link through.
No, it only pulls it
Yeah.
straight from the thing. It doesn't do any lookup.
That would be that would be very complicated because I'd have to work with
could
every
do it
element.
with tools like Zap, I can't remember, Pabbly and things like that.
Pabbly and stuff. Yeah.
Right. But I would have to know the calls back into the autoresponder to pull it forward.
Sure.
Yeah, but you could use a tool. You could take a form entry if you want to be clever. So it's not on you to do it; it's on them. They have a form thing that generates the URL that calls that URL, which is a Snapify that passes the correct data. It builds the URL.
So if you're wanting to create a funny story about someone, you would send them over to what would be look like a legit form. They would fill out the information. They click send, and then it takes them over to and now they get to read a story about themselves. You could do stuff like that. There's many different ways that you could use it. Personalization for birthday, as Andy did. You could do it for Christmas stuff, Christmas stories, or whatever. Doesn't matter.
I think the more
webinars are a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
The more valuable use is going to be if you say you want to stick a bonus or a JV page up,
right?
Because now when you send it out onto your JV list, you can actually drop the name of the JV partner in. You could also, with this, say you did, sometimes vendors make bonus pages for their affiliates to use. It's right there. Here's your bonus page, and you pass in the link, the affiliate link and the name.
Yeah.
And then it's a special bonus page for customers of Andy Brocklehurst.
I have set up, because we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, or was it last week? Because my brain is somewhat frazzled from a week of working full time. I have built something into my sales pages now where
hello, Lewis.
I can have multiple Warrior Plus offers going to the same landing page.
Mm-hmm.
So all I've got to do is pass along the offer ID, which is available on Warrior Plus.
Right.
And then it will put in the right button code, the right links, and the right disclaimer. I mean, the disclaimer's the same. It'll put all of that.
The disclaimer's the same. It's crap. Yeah.
For you. Yeah. So that's all. I mean, it's all built into the sales pages that I'm making now. So I have a back end that is just a single product per product.
Yeah.
With the rest of the data in. It's.
Yep.
It's amazing how much we've been doing. I said this year, the start of this year, I think Kurt and I had a conversation that went something about, I think this year's the year of simplifying things.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about we need to cut all the bollocks away and just try and that's what I've done. I spent a lot of time looking, going, I was spending hours on support for that. if I change it and I do this, if I get rid of that thing and don't have a protection on it, and I do that, my life's got so much easier.
Well,
One thing I haven't done yet, which I intend to, but I just haven't got around to, is a chatbot for the toolbox, which is a help chatbot, and it's got one thing in it, and that's if you can't log in, and somebody says, "I can't log in," then it says, "Can you try clearing your cache and your cookies?" Because that is the number one problem I've seen from Product Dino.
Yes,
and if they have any other problem, then that chatbot will send me a message and I can respond to them like normal support. So, but
did anyone
if you can get around that one problem, then.
Did anyone see Lender from what's his name? Wait a minute. What's his name? Mario Brown, I think.
Mario, yep.
Oh, is Mario still going? I don't really follow him anymore.
Mario's still going. He promoted Copy Catalyst.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Actually.
He has a deal running now, will end in a day or so, where you can have chatbots and all that. For one-time price. Pretty decent. I'll put it in the chat if I can find the chat. Hold on. I need to find the tab again.
A long time ago, I got a thing called Botstar, which I think they've changed their name now. They're doing something else with, but I still have an account with them. But that was an AppSumo deal, and they sort of kept that going. So I do have a bot solution, but interesting. I do always wonder whether, I mean, it's changing. It's going to change even more with the AI stuff that's coming in as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have the link in the chat. You see? Okay.
Yeah. What I'll do, I'll just drop the same link in the main comments for anyone watching on YouTube that wants to have a look at it. This is what we're talking about at the minute. Where's no. Oh, surely this always gets me. I'm here. It's telling me a support chatbot. There's not one on the page anywhere. The first thing I want to do, I'm going to go. Let me try talking to it and see how good it is. Where's yours?
Yes, and you can't do it. Yeah,
you haven't got one. That is the most ridiculous thing to do when you're.
That's why I made a Snap Assist the upsell page inside of Snapifier for Snap Assist. Yeah. You can actually try out one of the chat bots that I have there for making comments on blog posts. Copy.
I mean, there's some tiny little animated GIFs to try and show what it's like, but you can't really tell from that. There's not. I can't even. I'm looking to see if they've got a link anywhere that says demo, but I can't even see that.
I doubt very much they do. Something tells me they don't.
Right. Here's Andy's marketing tip of the week. If you're going to sell a product like a chatbot, then put an actual chatbot made with it on your own site. What belief in your own product do you have if you're not even going to use it on your own site? It must be dog shit. That's what goes in my head. I'm not saying it is, because I don't know. This might be brilliant. But what the dots that connect in someone's head are, well, they're not using it. It can't be any good. End of story. Close. You've lost the sale. So, Mario Brown, if you're watching, big mistake. I think.
I don't think he is, but yeah.
I doubt he is. And that also is a big mistake. Maybe someone that knows Mario Brown, tag him. Oh, there you go. There's a million of these things about now, though, aren't there? There was that.
Yeah.
There was
As soon,
one-
yeah, as soon as the
No,
API
I don't
things. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I made mine so you can actually make all the customizations inside of the platform for OpenAI underneath the systems. So all you have to do is the integration is your API key and your assistant ID, and that's it. We're
Yeah.
done. Makes it easy.
Hey, I'll tell you something. Who, Right Hub Online,
Yes.
some of our users, massive power users, we had to upgrade the server this week.
We did.
Wow.
Now, bear in mind,
That's good.
we-
I mean, it means
we
that people are
don't
using it.
Yes.
anyone's books more than 24, 48 hours, something like that.
72 hours is how long they're.
And so, but we actually got a notification yesterday, you're getting low on disk space. And we were like, even if it's cleaning out the temporaries, so we had to up it. And I, well, it's just one of those things. But yeah, it means, and you know, most of that is down. And you won't believe how much disk space that server's got. It's got a metric fuck ton, is the only way I can describe it. It was really about 4 or 5 users, I think.
Yeah.
Kurt went
Really?
in and looked. Kurt went, yeah, how are we producing this much data? And went, look, well, this person's doing this, and they're doing this, and they're doing this, and they're doing this. And I went, there you go. There's like 5 people.
And
going,
what sort of books are they creating?
That I will not say.
we don't
That I
know.
will not say
Oh,
because
okay,
it's
no,
their
no,
book.
fair enough.
But also,
Okay.
we don't have well, we can see a title thing is all we can see is
Sure,
under
sure.
the list. But yeah, I mean, we don't dig into what other people are doing.
I got
I'm-
with results from who? Using GPT-4o, I got good results, and then I tried 4o mini, and it was terrible.
4.0 Mini is a different model. It has got some.
But I'm using
problem.
4o mini in other apps, and I'm getting great results.
It's the thing is, it's close. Honestly, 4.0 Mini. I know how it's all been trained, but it's closer to. It's like using GPT 3.5 again, in some respects.
Closer to. Yeah.
But the way we look back with the prompts, I mean, we've tweaked, we messed around and had a look, and we were like, well, that's really what we did in the end was plug in the engine and make sure it was still producing producing reasonable results. But I agree. I mean, to be honest, most of the stuff that I'm still doing with who I'm using 4.0, I'm not using Mini. I'm using Mini more for really short stuff. Like if you want anyone here that uses Kurt's WP Horde, for example, when you're writing a 500-word, 1,000-word blog post, 4.0 Mini nails it.
Yep.
But
I've been using Mini to test out the prompts that I'm doing, so they should work in practically everything. And I did find that Mini, whilst the response is pretty good, it doesn't quite have the same imagination because, of course, it's a smaller model. It doesn't quite have the same imagination. When you're generating things like, a book design or a logo design or something like that, or a T-shirt, that kind of matters. That does make a difference.
Yeah, it's the quick model, but you will get. I think it's that you'll certainly spot a lot more GPT-isms in your text with 4.0 Mini.
Yeah.
If you want text that talks about delving into the deep ocean of, and gold mining, and sailing and the ocean and going on a voyage,
and yes, and Drowning and
Then
Tapestry. A lot of
absolutely
Tapestry.
4.0 Mini probably beats 3.5 for that.
Have you guys seen that platform Poe? I think it's called.
Yes.
I only just discovered it, and that's sort of something I want to play
It
with.
has no API tie-ins because it ties into all the
It
other.
ties in all the APIs, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I did
there-
notice that there is a certain AI image generation model that they have built into it,
Correct.
and
Yes.
including a bunch of other stuff as well. But the new stuff is in there as well, which is quite interesting. But and there's another one. There's an open platform that does the same sort of thing, where instead of like Poe, you buy a subscription. With that one, you buy credits.
Right.
So for a very small amount of money, really, because you don't use that many credits, you can generate using Claude or whatever it is.
I really do like the
without
credit
having to have a whole Claude thing. Oh, it's brilliant. I didn't think it would be, because you worry about how many credits that you use, and then when you get into it, you go, oh no, this
When
is
you
fine.
look.
It's perfectly fine.
That's the thing. I think I switched down some things and went, that works good on Mini, that's cheaper, great. But like I say, on Who, I still running on 4.0 if I wanted, because I'm producing the books I'm producing on that are like 15, 16 chapters. They're 23,000 words. You're not going to get the results out of Mini for that. And I couldn't have got the results I'm getting now back in the days of 3.5, no matter how good our prompts were. I would have had to edit out and delete massive chunks of repetition and stuff, which I don't have to do.
There's a new benchmarking for AI, both LLMs and image generation. And the GPT-4, the latest GPT-4, which I think was the August the 4th one, is still number 1 or number 2 for pretty much everything.
Do you remember,
really
Kurt, when you did that advanced training where you're putting everything into the notes and all that, Kurt? Okay. Do you still recommend doing that to try and get some good quality content in between?
The more time you spend putting in those notes and other stuff, the less time you're going to spend having to edit or delete chunks out at the end. It's all AI is limited by how well you guide it, and that's why people love buying prompts, because they can't seem to figure it out for themselves, even though it's talking to it in English.
It's ridiculously easy when you get
if you actually just sat with it and went, I can't break. I swear we're back where we were in the early days of computers. It's just people. It's new, and they're like, but I might break it. I might delete the internet or something if I type the wrong thing in. You can't break it. You can't do anything wrong. Just fucking go for it. And that's how. And then we just picked up tips from other people and went, what if? Every time you ask yourself, what if? Try it and find out.
Yeah.
And after a while, you really get to grips with. You just find your own way of talking to it, and then you get better at engineering prompts.
The big point where everything changes is where you suddenly go, I don't have to think about this at all. I can just ask ChatGPT or whatever thing you're using to do it for me.
Yes.
I can say, oh, hang on, I need this to do this. Make it do that. And it will do that.
Mm.
It might not be wholly accurate, but it'll be pretty damn good.
Right.
I do like, speaking of that kind of idea, there's a thing called Novel Crafter, which we have talked about before. And it uses AI, and you can choose which model to generate whole novels. And what it does, as it's asked to write the next bit, is it will send the last bit of your novel with it. So the call to the API, if you want to get technical about it, and then the response has got baked into it the writing style that you like. So the process of that is you get it to generate a bit of text, you edit the text so that it sounds right, because every bit of writing needs editing, even if you've written it yourself. Every bit needs it. So once you've edited it, you then get it to generate the next bit. It now has your writing style baked into it, and the more and more you do that, the more baked in that writing style is.
Yeah.
So it just makes it it's a better way to write that sort of thing, you know.
Well, one of the things that I've done for speed is I took all the books, any PDF, anything like that I've written, and I put that as a knowledge base on a GPT that only I have access to. It's a private one.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that whenever I want to write a little paragraph, a piece, anything up to a few hundred words on something, I can go over there and go, write a piece as me about this specific thing. And it will do it. And I mean, I still have to edit a little bit because there's some things, no matter how I've tried training it, even I've told it, I swear, they're swearing in the things. It's okay to swear. Don't worry about swearing. It's amazing how many times it changes things. And its favourite one with me, and I never would call anyone this, is it will go, listen now, my dears. I'm like, I never talk like that. Where the fuck it? And I can't train it out. But anyway, apart from that, the GPT is really good. And I do use it to get little framework bits I need and then just tweak them around sometimes. And I love that sort of thing, having
there is a way, if you want to get GPT to do something which is well outside what it would normally like to do, the way that I found to do it is to say, the audience expects this. And so suddenly it's then thinking, oh, well, I'll let the audience down. Thinking, obviously. But it thinks that it's going to let the audience down by not doing it. But it will always come back with a caveat. Of course, you should only use this with the right people.
Is anyone trying out Grok 2? Anyone here a user of
No,
Grok?
I've heard it's very good, actually. But no,
I've heard it's good.
Twitter, and I can't be asked.
I'm the same. At the moment, I'm like, if it was... Ironically, if it was any other organization in the world, I'd probably subscribe immediately. There's what I like about, from what I've heard, is that, and this is the one good thing about certain private models you can get, like that Super Machine, for example. They make a big deal out of that. We've not put limitations on it.
Yeah.
Now, if you produce images that would be deemed illegal, they will take them down and they will report you to the authorities. So, yes, you could make it do despicable things, but you're going to get reported, right? But if you want to do straight up, and they're okay with porn, they're all right with regular porn or anything like that, you want to do that, they don't care. And there's no limits on it. And I was like using it and having so much fun doing stuff because there was like ChatGPT's got a little bit better. But like
it's kind of very censorious compared to some of the stuff.
Try getting it to draw guns, even now.
Yeah, I know. Midjourney is the same. It still has issues. It still doesn't like doing it. That's why I kind of stopped doing it. Everything. I'm just doing murder mystery stuff, maybe.
But you can't see the actual gun because I wanted the when I did Bad Cat thing. I wanted the cat pointing a gun at the screen. Right. Yeah. But I couldn't get the AI to do that. Even the closest I got was when I said in the style of Bugsy Malone, and it did sort of do one of the guns, the Tommy guns, but it was badly drawn and not believable because cats don't have opposable thumbs anyway. So
I am just wondering whether
they have opposable pinky
thing does it.
But Super Machine. Not a problem.
What model I would use to do it anyway?
Wow.
So what appeals to me about Grok is that it's effectively like a trained AI model with none of the filters. And I know it's getting flack for that in the press because, already there are people prove that you can go on there and you can work out how to do very dangerous things very easily that up until now people generally have not put on the internet. And there's a question, but I'm like, someone's going to do it. Someone, and with great power comes great responsibility, is the thing, isn't it? But then, for that reason, maybe unleashing it on the Twitterverse isn't the brightest thing you could have done.
I mean,
I know. Let's put it in the hand of nut jobs.
there's going to be a certain point. I mean, some people would say it's in the hands of nut jobs, regardless. Yeah. So by the look of it, this thing will do guns. The platform that I've shown you, it'll do guns. It does. There's a lot of people who generated guns.
I can
There's
generate
a lot
one
of
in my
women.
bedroom.
There's a lot of generated women on here. It's most of the people who use the platform seem to just want to do that.
Well,
you know,
I tell you
I'll be
what,
honest,
the owner and the
can't
creator of it looks like that's his girlfriend. All of them.
when I got access to Super Machine, I started doing a few tarot things, a few other things. And then I was like, you just are like, okay, my curiosity is going to get the better of me now. There's all these consistent characters they've got. They've got men and women. They've got all sorts on there. And I went, how easy would it be to generate a set of believable images of somebody in all sorts of different scenarios, clothing, poses, whatever? And the answer is piss easy now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You can no longer ever believe. If you could believe a bit before, now you can't believe anything you see or hear on the internet. You just don't know.
You don't.
Does it do video yet, or is it just images?
Just images. But there are companies. The biggest issue we got with video at the moment is processing power, because what you're talking about is to produce video. You're talking about doing at least 60 frames a second. Maybe you get away with 30, but you've got to produce 30 frames for every 1 second of video. So to do
actually, that's not strictly true. If you're doing anime and stuff like this, so animation always used to be done on a 2-for-1 thing. So any 24 frame or 30 frame animation was half that amount of frames. So you could get away with doing like 15 frames a second.
Okay, but even so, that's for not very long amount of video. That's still a lot of frames.
A lot of generation.
And if you look at the image generation, you're sometimes waiting 3 or 4 minutes for an image to do, depending on how busy the servers are, and sometimes it can be seconds. But when you think, it's not just when you can do that for one person to be able to. When you've got thousands of users going, make me a 20-minute video, it's that processing power is all we're lacking at the moment.
Yeah.
But the technology is there. It's just we don't have the processing power to roll it out and say to everyone, here it is. That's why it's still only in the hands of movie studios.
So this image that I
add it in. Hang on.
Pop down there. That is from something I've just grabbed from the platform that I showed you guys in this.
Is that Laura Croft's little sister?
I mean, it kind of looks like I would expect that that's a trained image.
Oh, sorry.
Because that isn't even using the new model. That's using their own internal models as well. So this is why I think that the thing that this platform can do is just incredible. I haven't seen anything do anything quite like that. You know, there's always been, oh, well, somebody set up Stable Diffusion to do this sort of image, and then you can't do anything other than that sort of image. I haven't seen anyone do anything quite as far-reaching as this one, and that's quite exciting because
it's quite flexible. It is.
Yeah,
quite
I want to
flexible.
use it to do kids' books, so it'll let me use that art style if I want.
And that's a beautiful idea. Just kids' books like crazy. Changing my mindset from internet hobag to children's books in a heartbeat. I could just immediately.
Dear.
Did I say that out loud? My apologies. But yes, I whenever I first saw, you're gonna laugh. I saw a guy doing a YouTube video going, I made a mistake. And the mistake was he was on Instagram and showed this AI influencer's profile. And on the profile, it even says, this is AI generated.
Yeah. Mhm.
had 30,000 subscribers to the Instagram account. He opened up the profile page and went to their link tree, which had a Patreon, or not a Patreon, but a OF account. Whenever he first went there, they had like 50 subscribers. He went
Yeah.
back the next day after he did his video, over 300.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that
Crazy.
is insane. And he goes, I think I made a mistake. And I was like, yeah, I think you did too. Yeah, I'm just like, that is is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? I don't know. It's
Neither at the moment. I think it's a thing, and whether it's good or bad, it depends on what you choose to do.
Exactly.
it's the
That's
use of it. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's like everything, isn't it? I mean, you know,
Pretty much.
all things have the capability of it's
I
how
mean,
you use it.
They had the same conversation about books when the printing press happened. You know, it's,
Right. This should be interesting. Documents.
Bud.
I've just been going through some old folders of backup discs because I don't ever throw them out; they just get stored. And I was like, I'm just going to pull an old one out at random and see what's in it. And I pulled this set. So this is a set of backups from 2008. And I'm just having a look at what I was doing in 2008. I had a crikey 13
It's
inch
Securavan.
PDF. That was I remember that. And
Volker sent me a couple of images. You're gonna laugh when you read this one.
he's just sent them to me as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh, what's he sent?
Oh, he's with his missus at the moment, so he's not going to get on. But I will share what he had shared with me. That's just wrong.
It is, but still.
Just wrong. Funny, but wrong.
But then that goes back to the sort of the ethics of it, of being, look, you could draw that with a pen and pencil. It doesn't mean
Right.
that, you know, copyright doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that you know, it's you. If you're asking something to do that, if you're asking a tool to do that, you're the person who's infringing on the copyright, not
Right.
the tool. Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, here's some more ideas. Remember those little sketch things that came out several years ago that you would upload an image to it and it would start sketching it?
Oh yeah. I made one of those.
Well, imagine that. Take this, output it from AI, you put it into it, and then people watch the video of it sketching it out, and then it's created afterwards.
I actually wrote, this is way before I got into IM, but I actually wrote a plugin for After Effects that did that made
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So,
So that I actually started making a YouTube video to do that.
yeah.
I'd upload an image and it'd sketch it out, and people would have to guess what it was halfway through. I'd pause it and say, "Okay, guess," and then
That's
continue.
a nice
on.
idea, actually. That's
It's innocuous. It's. I was going to say clinical, but that's not clinical. But it's kind of safe at the same time. But yeah, you could have a fun channel. You could have a wrong channel. You can have one that's a little bit more provocative. There's a word. That's a word I could use. Provocative.
to an extent, because there are
Yeah.
limits on YouTube.
The YouTube overlords, yes.
Yeah.
However, sketching out an image of something that comes out of, let's say Leonardo, it would be fine. They wouldn't care about that.
I would expect so. Yeah.
That's something I haven't used in ages. Is Leonardo.
Leonardo, I used it the other day actually. I used to do it. I used to use it for sort of basic ideas, and then like a sketchbook, because they give you some free credits every day, and it was just I can use this and do that. And now I just can't be bothered. I do the same thing. I do the same thing in the other, and I don't have to pay for it. So it's
All right. Well, if you're watching on the YouTubes, you're not going to be anymore because we're going to cut it off there. But thanks
Oh
for
my
watching.
goodness! Are they going to go bye-bye?
They are.
Aw.
We're going to hang out still. So
Bye.
yeah. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.